All right, here we go. Good morning, everyone. Today is April 6th, 2026. And honestly, I'm kind of excited for today because right off the bat, it's looking like we got a 12-hour outside bar. We got a data high. Now, I'm going to have to do some analysis. Obviously, I don't know um, for sure yet because I haven't done my analysis, but um, with a data high and a 12-hour outside bar, from here to here seems kind of to me like kind of a little free. I'm not gonna lie, but then again, we'll just have to see because I literally just got on the charts, and this LRLR could be nice, but I mean there is an external gap here, so once again, I just got on the charts here, so we're gonna have to get everything figured out, and yeah. It's a 4 hour. Wait, I guess it's not a 4 hour outside bar. It's a 6 hour outside bar, 8 hour. Yeah. So anyway, let's just start cooking here. Let's get going. Really get an idea of what we got going on here. We still have this inversion for value gap. We probably have the daily one as well. Yeah, daily is gonna probably close with a dodgy OB, so this could be interesting. So let's go ahead and go top down, right? So from the highest time frame down, we have the weekly chart. As I've been saying, we have this weekly gap. It's both it was unmitigated, meaning we never used it before, and I'm implying it, right? Because I'm using this candle. Once again, my implied for value gaps, not ICTs. So there you go. Boom. And then as we've been looking at, right, we have had SMT with YM with this low here. Boom. And we've been watching that for quite some time now, and we can see that that is, the more that we see that, or the more that we've looked at that, the more that we can see, oh wow, the market is respecting this this SMT here. So bang. Oops. So yeah, SMT with YM. So yeah, we're just gonna go highest time frame down here and really get an idea. So obviously this isn't the highest time frame, but you know what I mean. Starting out all the way up here, and then yeah, we filled this really nicely. We swept out these equal lows. Bang. Oh, we also need to check news, get out Forex Factory, and check. What's the other thing I always check? Oh, I need to get Trade8 and SP Pro. Let's get out everything. Just gonna keep showing up, man. Just gonna keep showing up. Today looks kind of clean so far. Once again, the 12-hour outside bar with the data high above, I don't know, I kind of like it. So, I mean, if you simply target that data high, maybe you could get a pretty high risk to reward trade, you know? Anyway, I like this a lot. Boom. Oh, we gotta put the date. Let's put the date. April 6, 2026. Monday. Alright, let's put this in weekly. Alright. So I got SP Pro out now. So by the way, as you guys know, whenever I'm looking at this, I won't really be able to see chat. So, but right now I'm not going to be looking at it, so it's fine. Alright. So I just put that in weekly. Let's drop down. So we have this daily gap here. We've been wondering if this is gonna break or not. And obviously, if the market could get up to here, it could be low resistance. Hey, what up, random guy? Good morning, right? So once again, this daily gap, huge 1 minute equal lows. Okay, definitely really good to know about. We've been watching this external gap for a while now because it's very important to see, are we going to break this or are we not, right? And whether we do or not is really going to tell us in the short term whether we go up to data high and maybe even LRLR versus coming back down. So this right here, very important to look at, right? We want to see how the market interacts with this external gap here, right? This daily external gap. We've been watching this for quite some time. And it's very important to remember that we haven't inversed it yet, right? We haven't inversed it yet, but maybe soon, but we'll see, right? But okay, I'm gonna look at those equal lows that random guy just said in a second. I really appreciate that random guy for saying that. Okay, so once again, it's really a lot of this is gonna depend on if we inverse this daily gap, and well, it's on the daily time frame, so we're really not gonna know until after today, right? And then, yeah, like I said, if the market did get through this, obviously we have a data high. And the 12-hour inverse, guys, remember, not 12 hour, the 12-hour made an outside bar. So it's like, I want to target the data high. I want to target these low resistance highs, but we'll see. Right, would this become LRLR? Would it be high resistance? I really don't know. I don't care. It's just to mark it out right now, right? So there we go. That's going to go in the daily. It's going to go in the daily, right? We really don't know right now whether this daily external gap is going to break. But to be fair, 12-hour massive outside bar, 8-hour massive outside bar, 6-hour massive outside bar. So these are all different things to look at. And we've also inversed this. Right, so if I go back to the daily, we've inversed the lower daily gap. Right? I feel like it looks like we're gonna break this, but I don't know. Kind of feel like with the data high above, we might break this external gap. Right, so this is so on one hand you could look at it as a daily external gap. On the other hand, you can look at it as a daily IFEG anticipating the external gap to break. Two different ways to look at the same thing. I think if the whole daily gets inverse, I'm gonna put a lot of money to NASDAQ for a while. Yeah, it is. Exactly. It's looking like a good investment time for real. And you know, all this being low resistance, the main thing is we got to watch out for this external gap here, right? Because this, between the data high and the LRLR, there's another external gap, right? So what could happen is short term, this stays high resistance, rejecting this daily gap, but that's kind of once we get to the data high, right? So back down to the 12-hour. I think honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I think the daily is gonna inverse the daily external gap. Yeah, I'm just gonna say it. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. Not gonna lie, I think the daily external gap is gonna inverse because 12-hour, 8-hour, and 6-hour outside bars to the data high look way too clean, right? And I'll show you guys what I mean. First of all, let's also mention that we have a daily inversion for value gap, so that's the first thing. Then we have we retest CE of it, I think, actually. So I keep getting distracted. I was gonna say the outside bars. Yeah, I mean, we retest CE of this perfectly. I just have to point that out, right? It's like people will say, oh, the ICT concepts don't work. It's like, okay, then why did it hit that perfectly? So back to what I was saying. So boom, C hit perfectly. Back to the daily. So I know that's not the daily, it's a 12-hour, but still, it's fine. Actually, yeah, no, it's fine. So yeah, 12-hour. Actually, let's just get rid of that because it's not the daily chart. Okay, I'll just put that in general. Okay, so like I was saying, we have interesting. It's interesting because we have two 12-hour outside bars. We have one here. And we have one here, right? So here's the first one. Maybe a little less obvious because the close doesn't really close higher, right? Yeah, so there's a daily outside bar there, and then a daily out or 12-hour outside bar there. So I'm gonna put that in here. Two 12-hour outside bars, right? So one here, and then one here. This one looks really, really nice. And then same with the 8-hour, right? 8-hour made an outside bar and also had an inversion for VIA gap. I mean, I like, as much as I like to be careful with external gaps. I think we're gonna go to the data high here. It's just my thoughts, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Right, here's 8-hour IPG. So 8-hour inversion for VIA gap, 8-hour outside bar. Once again, still have the data high above. And then low resistant liquidity above. Yeah, I mean, it looks like a buy model, market maker buy model. Looks like we're on the right hand side of the curve. 8-hour IPG and outside bar, right? And then down to the 6-hour, it's like 6 hours also an outside bar. So, and also an IPG. And an outside bar right there. So I don't know, guys. As much as I like to pay attention to external gaps, I think it's likely that daily external gap is gonna break, but I could be wrong. As much as I do like to pay attention, as much as I do like to give in-depth attention to external gaps, not gonna lie, I think it has a high probability to break and continue to the data high. The daily. The daily external bearish gap. So, yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking here. Kind of, to me, looks like a buy model. Once again, when we get all the way up here, we're gonna have to figure out whether that's gonna be a external gap as well. But right now, from here to the data high, looks a pretty clear IRL to ERL play, you know. mean, we don't really have any external low time frame gaps. It's just that daily. It's just that daily gap. And so, I mean, with that in mind, I think it's gonna break. No low time frame external gaps. It's really only the daily external gap that exists. Not gonna lie, I think IRL to ERL to the data high has a decent chance to play out here. Alright, let's drop down time frames here. 4 hour. Right. So we are in a discount relative to true month open. True week open gets manipulated. I don't think there's much to look at with the 4 hour. Nothing we haven't already really looked at. Oh, true month open. Yeah, let me know what you guys are thinking. We still have 44 minutes till market open, so yeah, I think we're in a good spot. Whoops, wrong one. Right. True week open got manipulated still. True day open. Yeah, true day open was really nicely souped actually. And then 7:30 right there. I don't want to skip time frames, but I don't know. The 4 hour doesn't look that interesting, and the 1 hour doesn't either. Whoops, that was not the right one. I just turned the indicator off. I think it's glitched. I don't know what's going on with that. Alright, it's fine. Point is that that indicator can mark out the true opens for me, which saves me a whole bunch of time. That's what I care about. Yeah, and so it's also a 1 hour gap here, right? So I would look at the 4 hour, but it's like there's only so much to look at with the 4 hour here. It just kind of feels like 4 hour, I guess, respected this giant gap here. Seems like it's still on the way to the data high. I don't know, there's not much to look at on the 4 hour. Let's pull up session highs. So We just took previous week's high. We got relatively equal previous day's highs. So those will be a nice draw. I mean, this is kind of how I'm seeing it, is just IRL to ERL, relatively equal with previous day's highs, and outside bar. Yeah, so even if we don't go to the data high right away, I mean, these relatively equal daily previous day's highs seem pretty nice. I don't know. I think that's a reasonable target. Pretty reasonable. Really breaking this down here. So yeah, this is all I got for the 4 hour, honestly. Nothing too interesting. Just kind of thinking we're gonna go up to these previous day highs. So then we have a 2 hour gap here. FA, you want to go lower? Okay, we'll see. We filled the daily external gap. It might go lower, but we'll see. We'll see. So 2 hour gap here. Yeah. So that the case for the bears is that we're at the high of that external gap. That's definitely the case for the bears, I would say. Okay. Once again, another IRL to ERL move, essentially. Possibly. From here to here. So quite a big range to capitalize on, if we're being totally for real. Not to mention if the potential of it if it continues to go to the data high here. So 2 hour for value gap. I'm gonna start cleaning up the higher time frame chart so I don't lag my computer. So we're gonna get rid of this, 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 and this. And then, yeah, that's all for now. So back to the 2 hour. 2 hour for value gap here. We just went to the bottom of it. We efficiently filled it. We have a 1 hour gap to the upside. I think I'm interested in this as a 2 hour gap. So I'm going to be really watching this 2 hour gap and seeing if we get any move from IRL to ERL out of this. Once again, daily relatively equal highs is kind of like my target. We also have a 2 hour outside bar here. We retest it. So I guess let's mark this out, right? This is a 2 hour outside bar. Once again, daily relatively equal previous day's highs. Okay. Yeah, let's really drop down to the 1 hour. 1 hour is really interesting because the 1 hour has a volume balance right there, meaning you should really mark out the gap, including the volume balance. If you do that, we have not efficiently filled that 1 hour gap. I want to get out the low time from true open, so let's get that out. Yeah, in the short term, definitely looks like we're going to run those lows. I think market open will, or 10 a.m. will end up delivering us higher though. And this has got to be a data wick. Oh, I forgot to screenshot news. Might be. And let's open up Tradevate. What's up, random? How's it going? Just marking out everything right now. I'm looking at this as a 2 hour gap, and I'm looking at these relatively equal previous day's highs, and I'm considering a move from this 2 hour for value gap to go run, which is internal range liquidity, to go run the previous day high external range liquidity. But FA's bearish, so maybe don't listen to me. I don't know. Do what you want, but yeah, this is what I'm looking at. And yeah, we're just we're here. I got Tradevate pulled up now. Here we go. I thought my deposit request got approved. What? Maybe it didn't get approved yet. It's probably gonna get approved right as market opens or something. Sorry, I'm reading some emails to figure out if this is... Did I not? Wait, why don't I have a... Oh, okay, it's right here. Your deposit request has been received. Okay, so yeah. So they haven't cleared it yet. Okay. Alright. So anyway, we got Tradovate pulled up. Let's make sure. I'm gonna make sure the daily loss limit is set. Yep, daily loss limit is set. Lock settings of trading locked. Okay. Okay, perfect. Okay, so like I said, guys, I'm basically looking at this 2-hour gap, watching it as well. We might want to, according to predictions, market won't be volatile from this Monday. So far, it's pretty volatile, bro, from what I'm looking at, but that's just me. So we also might want to mark this out as a 1 hour for value gap, but have this including the volume imbalance down here, right? Because when you mark out your fair value gaps, you want to include the volume imbalance. So, and if we do that, we haven't really efficiently delivered this gap yet. So something to consider is that that's the case, that we haven't efficiently delivered this. Let's get SMTs pulled out, right? So 1 hour for value gap. Honestly, same thing. I'm kind of expecting IRL to ERL. Ooh, looks like we got a Reaper gap here. Possibly, right? Highest for value gap before the move down. Or, I mean, highest for value gap within the breaker before the move down. Yeah, let's see if we find a Reaper gap here. This could be nice, right? Like, right here, we might end up using this. And we kind of already have. So that, you know, that's something to think about, is, are we going to use this? And we might end up using, I don't know, something else. But we'll mark that out here. I don't want to clutter my chart. I can tell my chart's getting a little cluttered. So I might get rid of the daily IPG. I might get rid of the 8-hour IPG. And once again, I'm just trying to clean up my chart here. Okay. So yeah, next thing let's look at is this 1 hour gap, right? This seems like the next logical thing to look at. Include the volume balance at the bottom, and maybe we could be getting the same IRL to ERL type move here. Cra? What? What? Yeah, I'm not going to mark out the Reaper right now, but just know that that Reaper gap is there and we might use it in some way. Like, we might end up sweeping this low into the bottom of this volume balance, and then running up to the external range of liquidity. It's kind of a possibility I'm looking at. Whoops. Let's go ahead and screenshot this. Maybe put this in 1 hour charts. Yeah, I mean, what you really want is you want your higher time frame analysis to line up with the low time frame and just have it be completely fluid top down. And that's something that I feel like has not been the case sometimes with my high time frame analysis. Is I'll go top down, but then the analysis doesn't really like go fluid. Today feels more fluid. Like I feel like I'm more like every time frame feels correctly looked at more than normal. Right, so midnight, in my opinion, has already been souped. I don't know if we're gonna have to soup midnight. I honestly don't think we will, because well, look at it. We already souped it. We already swept liquidity into it, and yeah. Let's see if there was SMT below midnight. Yeah, there was an SMT at the below midnight here, so I don't know, guys. I think that's kind of bullish to me. So yeah, this is honestly what I'm expecting. Internal, a sweep into this internal range liquidity on the 1 hour, and then a run up to these relatively equal previous day highs. So I guess let's really have this 1 hour volume balance marked out. You know, we could end up getting a pin bar off of it, which that could be a nice hand of FA or seal of FA. So honestly, I think we got our kind of our narrative. I think we're good to drop down to lower time frames, in my opinion at least. But once again, you guys let me know what you're thinking. But this is kind of what I'm thinking. We might want to check here for a Reaper gap as well. We also probably want to see SMT with that low. I'm assuming that low was a data low, actually. We should probably check. Let's go put this in the 15-minute category. We could also, it's a 1 hour gap, so we could align this with the 5-minute. Yeah, there's... Yeah, it feels like this was some kind of data wick. But, I don't know. Alright. Okay, back to what we were looking at. So... we might not go down there all the way, though. It just kind of depends. Because if we have an SMT, that could be enough, right? Yeah, I mean, we have SMTs here. So, this might be all it takes, in all honesty. We've already swept out most of the liquidity. We might not need to completely fill this. Honestly, I don't think we do. So mark this out, this or this, either one of these. I'd mark out this one. I think this is going to be very sensitive. You can see we've already used it. Me too. I am very bullish. Like the more I keep looking at it, the more I am just I'm loving longs. I'm loving longs. So this, yeah, this is a nice Reaper gap. So keep that in mind as well. That's there. Right, we have bullish SMTs. Yeah. Yeah, we might sweep out this data low. So yeah, we do have bullish SMTs here. Bullish SMTs. I'm just gonna keep that in my head that that's there. Yeah, so let's just drop down to lower time frames, and then pretty clearly to me this looks like accumulation. Like this whole entire thing is just accumulation. And then honestly we might be going higher right now. We already have the bullish SMTs. I don't know though, I kind of want to see us take this data low. Right? But this is definitely accumulation. We're waiting for manipulation to the sell side and then expansion probably to the buy side. That's what I would say. Once again, we might need to take this data low. I don't know. And then let's check where session highs are. We do not have London high. Feels like this could be the trade, but it's in the pre-market. I don't know. I think we need internal liquidity swept. Wait, I should not have screenshotted it with this session. Where are the equal lows at? Where are the equal lows at? Right here? My chart's not showing them. I don't see them. Alright, this is certainly a data wick. I don't know what it is, but it's certainly a data wick. Until we get SMT with the data wick or we take the data wick, I am skeptical, I would say. But this is certainly gotta be some kind of news event, don't you think? So we probably want to see this taken. Maybe we get manipulation into the data low and then expansion. Yeah, so I think this is pretty nice right now. We have a pretty good idea framed. Basically, accumulation, taking the, and then data low gets taken, and then expansion up. So yeah, now we are on the 1 minute chart finally. So one thing we could look for is a 5 minute change in state of delivery, because it's a 1 hour gap. Let's also put a gradient on this. And this is the most obvious point of interest, is this giant 1 hour or 2 hour gap, or whatever you want to call it. I would actually consider this 1 and this 0. Once again, I'm very interested in the Reaper gap right here as well. Unfortunately, those old highs are not London High. London High was swept up there. So right now we've inversed the 3 minute, but I don't know. I'm not necessarily convinced with the data low below. I think, I don't know. It's a little suspicious because we have this gap. Alright. I wouldn't be surprised if this just takes us lower here, because in all honesty, this is like a AMD to the downside for now, right? Like in the short term, it's just accumulation, manipulation into this external gap here. Look at the 15-minute gap. Yeah, it's definitely AMD to the downside in the short term. You see that? You have a 15-minute unmitigated gap here. So I kind of want to move this out of the way. I will be looking for longs, but right now we're in a low time frame sell model where basically, I'm sorry it's a mess right now, where basically we have this 15-minute external gap that was unmitigated that got completely filled, and 1 minute change in state right here. This got souped right there. You can see this really clearly. Internal range, internal liquidity gets swept, and external. So you're very clear what's happening right now. 15-minute external gap completely filled. Now we're drawing the data low, possibly, or just this low. Yeah, I'm really liking price action today a lot. Once again, still expecting longs here. We've had both external liquidity swept and internal liquidity swept. 15-minute unmitigated external gap. Well, it was unmitigated, obviously not anymore, but you know what I mean. Let's just call it an external gap then. So I will be bullish. It's just probably not until 10 a.m. or market open. Right, so you can see there's accumulation. Manipulation, change in state, inducement. I wonder if I marked out the true open badly, because why did we not manipulate that? We might actually get shorts because if the true open didn't get manipulated and we have triple equal highs. And you can see that playing out there. Fake buy model because there was no real internal liquidity sweep yet. Once again, like, I think we will reverse, but it's just going to be market open or 10 a.m. that does the job. Probably. Right? You can see the sell model that formed. We even had SMT with this low. Whoops. So I think we got to be focused on the longs here. But I do want to screenshot this, right? Just to say, hey, I'm aware. Right? If we project this out, we might want to project this out. Four projections puts us down there. And I would allow yourself to enter on this thing here. So this is a real 15-minute, 1-minute model here. Once again, I'm still wanting longs. So I wonder if there's a better gap to use than the 1 hour gap. Like maybe this 15-minute gap. Actually, that 15-minute gap is I think going to be a little nicer for us and allow us to get a more cleaner trade. it's a discount 15-minute gap. So this 15-minute gap will be just cleaner in general for us to use. It's just like more what's the word? Objective, clear, and makes things easy. So we're gonna be watching this 15-minute fair value gap. I'll pop a gradient on it, and 5 minutes till market open. So I'm really watching this 15-minute gap. This is my point of interest. I want to see us sweep the data low, and then buy model back up. Once again, midnight's already been manipulated. I don't really care to see that have us go all the way down there. So yeah, now I'm basically like, okay, I want to see us come into this 15-minute gap, sweep this data low, maybe get SMT with it. Be pretty cool. And then I'm looking for longs. We do have this external gap here, but I think this will still reverse if we take the data low. So I'll be looking for longs off this 15-minute gap. Now this whole thing is basically accumulation. This whole entire thing. Yeah, and then I want to see manipulation below data low, and then buy model back up. So we're just gonna watch. We might even want to wait for a 5-minute change in state of delivery. We also want to pay attention to the first presented fair value gap here. Yeah, this is what I want to see, honestly. Maybe even get an SMT with this. So yeah, let's be watching to see if we get SMT. Let's also watch for if we ever get a precision swing point. And also this is a Reaper gap here, so keep that in mind, right? So 1 minute to market open. We need to have true opens marked out. Hang on. Okay, I'm gonna have SB Pro out. I'm not watching chat. Alright. We just got the SMTs. Okay, so we need to have true opens marked out. 9. So here's the true open for this one. 922.30. And then 928. So we've manipulated both of these. No internal sweep yet, but this is a really strong sweep here. Ooh, there you go. Okay, wait. You got to be careful here because I'm not seeing, there's no outside bar. I'm not seeing anything. First position for value gap. Do we got one or not really? So that was likely Dark Phoenix, right? As you guys know, if you get SMT, the asset that takes the low, it's a lot of time Dark Phoenix, and you can see that's why we get such an explosive move is because of Dark Phoenix. We might end up getting shorts because this ain't giving us an entry, and now we're back into this external gap here. It's like the other day when I wanted to do longs, but I entered late, and then we ended up getting shorts. Now we're getting a new SMT here, so we're most likely gonna get shorts now. I don't love that, but that's just what the market's offering right now. Because now we're above this consolidation. I mean, then again, if our time frame is bullish, maybe we really just can't short. We gotta be careful here. First presented for value gap. Do we got one? We didn't have any absorption or anything. Alright, this for shorts could play out nicely. Uh-oh. It didn't allow me an entry. I was almost gonna enter, but it didn't allow me an entry. I could have taken that. Mmm. Now we're within this external gap. Once again, I want longs. Five-minute external gap. You got stacked S&Ts. But the market's bullish. 30-second gap. Yeah, I think these, I mean, it might be AMD to the downside. I want the higher time frame to be bullish here. Oh my gosh. Shoot. No first plan for value gap yet. You guys have to understand, you know, in the future, maybe I'll consider doing Dark Phoenix there, but I just didn't like it enough. So now, okay, perfect. Now we're coming back to Reaper Gap here. We just souped 730. Okay. We might get another sweep into this. Lots of SMTs. Now we're testing this 30-second CISD off of the 15-minute gap, or the 1 minute CISD. Yeah, you can see that external gap rejecting price. Alright, now this would be probably Dark Phoenix again. Now it's internal liquidity sweep. So, hand of FA right here. This is probably going to play out to the upside. Whoops, wrong one. The problem is it just voided down. I mean, it's a giant gap now. It's a giant inversion for value up to the downside now. That's the tricky thing. It's definitely playing with people right now. Any first win for value gaps yet or no? Yes, we do. We have it. Okay, so my bread and butter is this getting inverse. So let's kind of just watch and see if this inverses. And then probably enter with one con. Last time I tried 2 cons, got cooked, learned my lesson. So if this inverses with 1 con, I'm in. You know, it's the same thing as before. So my basically bread and butter, right? First center for value getting inverse back to the upside. That's what I'll look for here. And no, I'm not going 2 cons. As much as I want to go 2 cons, I'm not going 2 cons. But I have my trade idea now, so I want to see that inverse back up, and then basically target this high, TP with stop loss, and then let it see if it goes up to the previous day relatively equal highs. So that's what you want to see. So I'm gonna be prepared to enter with 1 con here. So I'll switch my screen. You can also enter on the retest of it, which would be 335. Did you see Discord? No, what's going on with Discord? Once again, like I said, Dark Phoenix again. Now we've had internal liquidity get swept, and external liquidity and internal liquidity swept. Really just waiting on this move up. FA said check Discord. I will really quickly. Nice, FA. Nice. So now we're looking at a 2022 model on the 15 second. We swept liquidity, break of structure, fair value gap. Would not be surprised if this is a 2022 model. So we'll tape read this. Tape read this. You're ending up with an inversion off of it on the 5 second, so you could stack there. Once again, I'm mostly interested in like just the trade that I want, which is my bread and butter, which is the first center for value up getting inversed. I'm not really looking for anything else really here. So once again, I think this goes higher here. I could take this, but it's too high risk for me. I want to just go in with one con, win this inverses, and then just be happy. So once again, you didn't see me, but I called this out. I said this is probably going to be 2022 model. And then this inversing here is another entry. But I'm wanting to see us inverse this first center for value gap, and then I will enter. Once again, you could do two cons. That's too scary for me. I got cooked doing that last time. I'm just not going to do it again. Okay, so we're getting closer to getting this here. Okay, about one more minute. Then you basically TP with stop loss at this high, and then I would target these external highs up here. So preparing for this idea, we'll see. If we close too high, look for entry on the retest. So which the entry for retest would be on 337, maybe 337.5. It's possible we close too high. Lower gap just got inversed. It is possible we close too high here. But you know what? We'll just have to go for what we can. Let's see. Okay, prepare for limit entry retest on 337. Really pay attention to if this inverse is here. This is going to be really important to see. If it closes too high, I'm going to be looking for limit order entry on retest. Okay. We're going to get first strike back to the upside here, or there's going to be a low time frame change in state off the 5 second. It's going to take us higher. Has not inversed yet, but we'll see. Once again, first strike's going to play out where we're going to push down, then get change in state up on the low time frame. This is going to be a higher R trade here, so this is nice. I almost want to take this, but I'm not liking this, the no sweep, but that might not matter. Hey, we appreciate the confetti. We appreciate appreciate the confetti. Once again, you can see the Reaper getting back tested there. That Reaper gap getting back tested perfectly. And now you wonder like how this, it's so precise, guys. It's so precise. So Reaper gap getting back tested perfectly. You could go in with two cons. but I am just gonna go in with one con. What up, Chess? How's it going? I really don't feel the need to do two cons. I really just want to play it safe today. Once again, Reaper just got back tested. This is pretty high conviction here. You could enter on the retest of this. Hopefully we don't close too high. Hopefully we do not close too high. We might need to enter on a retest. It honestly still is fine. Even with this high of a close, it's still fine. We could also enter on retest. But since I'm only doing one con, I'm gonna enter on close. No, come back down, bro. Okay, we'll enter on a retest. It's a little unfortunate, but I could take this on the close here. Shoot, bro. I could have done anything else. I literally could have done anything else. I could have done first strike, the first. Oh my gosh, this makes me so mad. Y'all saw me mark the Reaper gap. Look at how we used that. Now we're getting bearish SMT. Okay. Okay, maybe if we get first strike, back testing this first center for value gap using the Reaper. It's a really nice Reaper. We also might get inversion out of the Reaper. So let's just see if that happens. Oh. I'm gonna wait. I want to see his back test this Reaper gap. This could play out though. I just want to do something safe. I mean, it's hard. It's hard. I like the first center for value gap inversion, but we obviously closed way too high. I told you down here this is a 2022 model. So at this point, I maybe just come back, backfill this, and then continue. So we could go for a first strike to the upside out of this. I'm aware this is an external gap, but higher time frame's bullish. So I'm really gonna look for return back to this, right? And then a micro model out of it. Wow, I knew price action was gonna be good today. I don't think we're gonna get this. Maybe we will though. This could be a Phoenix model. Tape read this. Might run us back down to first center for value gap. Macro 950 macros coming. We might get something soon. So we might actually be able to enter with two cons. Once again, my long-term target is these proof stay relatively equal highs here. I don't know if we're going to come down all that way. I mean, if the 15-minute inverses, dude, that's not a good trade according to my backtesting, really. But maybe if the 5-minute inverses here, you get in. That's not really amazing for me, for my kind of entry. Yeah, that's hard. I called the 2022 model, called the Reaper gap, called the first center for value gap inversion, called the soup, called the rejection. We called every little bit of price action. It's not fun. It's not fun at all to call everything and still not get a trade. So basically, I'm still looking for the same idea. It could play out. If so, it could end up being a pretty high RR trade, and I'll probably do two cons instead of one. It's not easy to be patient, guys. I want to, so badly in my mind, I want to, take something I wouldn't take. I wanted to take this inversion late, or, there were higher risk trades that I liked that I wanted to take that did work out. And that's the funny thing is, if I took the first strike, you can see the first strike playing out really nicely. If I just seen this, I would have loved to have taken that, but it's just not. It's also scary because I've been losing so much. But the first strike here, exactly. I don't want to take a loss right now. But I mean, random guy, you've been here this whole time. And you've seen how I've called price this whole entire way. I said we're going to data low sweep. This was a soup. This was a soup. This was a 2022 model. Backtest the Reaper. Inversion off. I said first strike off the first center for value gap. I called it all. But yeah, I really have called it all here. I mean, so now we're looking at a micro time frame second stage distribution where we're coming back down into this, which is a breaker block, right? And then this is a low time frame accumulation, then maybe we come down, sweep out this low into the Reaper with SMT, and then second stage distribution has like the best moves. So you might get 10R off of this first center for value gap and Reaper here. News at 10 a.m. Perfect. Hopefully that delivers price to the upside. I'll still take a trade even if there's news. So I'm expecting a low time from accumulation, usage of the first center for value gap and Reaper, and then expansion up, and then I'll look for probably 15-second or 5-second inversion for value gap, outside bar, or whatever the other thing is. Pin bar, probably not pin bar. Oh man, it's hard, guys. It's hard. One of the hardest things is calling price action, like the whole entire way, and then seeing the market do exactly what you wanted, but just having to be patient anyways, right? We're at this. We have this new true open here. Looks like we have relatively equal lows. So this true open just got souped. Could that be the low? Possibly. I want to see us come below these relatively equal lows. Wait, that's not it. I hope that this stays generated liquidity, but it might just go higher because the way we souped true open. I'm not gonna lie, this is really hard for me, guys, to just to have called price really so perfectly, and then not get what I want, or not get a trade that I wanted. Once again, I could have taken the 2022 model. I could have taken the first strike. All these I could have taken. Could have even taken this off the Reaper. I hope this stays in the short term. I hope this stays high resistant. I hope news whipsaws price. I hope news whips us down and then changes us state back up. If so, I'm going to enter off of that. Once again, this is second stage distribution of the buy model up to these highs here. So it might end up being a somewhat high time frame trade. I'm going to look at SP Pro again. Yeah, I hope this is high resistance right now, but I don't know. Because then there'll be low resistance later once we come back down, if we do. And then maybe we sweep out this low with SMT. But that's just what I want in my dreams. Does it mean it'll happen? Not necessarily, right? Oh my gosh. I hope this something like this occurs, right? Come on, don't go higher yet. Come on, please don't. News, come on. Is news gonna, news might whipsaw price. It might go boom. It might dump us real quick. Alright, prepare for 5 seconds CSD back up. We got a data high now. Oh my gosh, come on now. Come on. Give me a trade. This is the data high now. We might end up coming back to this still. Once again, this will be a pretty high probability second stage distribution off that Reaper gap. I ideally want to see internal and external liquidity swept. And this is the tricky part, is because you know, you want to wait for internal liquidity swept, but then you don't want to miss the trade. It's like, oh, it's so tricky sometimes, right? Because like, I know we could just sweep external liquidity and then go, and that's why I didn't take. Well, that's not. I didn't take 2022 models because my win rate on 2022 models is just garbage. That's the real reason. But I also it's just my real account, and I don't want to mess this up. Okay. So maybe we'll get an instant V-shape recovery, which I guess would be pretty nice. We just got a market seller of 20 cons. We're getting SMT. Maybe this is as far down as we go. I'm trying to stay patient. It's not easy, guys. I want to see us come down here. Yeah, I mean, could it just go higher here? Yes. But I think really high conviction longs would take us back to a discount. We're not back in discount yet. This will put us back in discount. So I might, like, obviously the trade is gonna ask for 2 cons. I really don't want to do 2 cons because this will be a really high RR trade from here to the previous day relatively equal highs. So maybe I'll just do half risk. But you know, I guess if the trade does require 2 cons, then I'll just do 2 cons. It just depends if it makes sense. But yeah, I'm looking for this right now. Or we might end up getting SMT with this low and make a higher low. That's possible as well. Okay. Dodgy took the 2 minute. Oh my gosh. Dang, bro. Okay, I'm preparing to take this. So I'm going to switch screens. So basically what I'm looking for is a 5, 15 second, 5 or 15 second or 30 second IPG off of this. That is obvious. That is undeniable. Ideally, we have internal manipulation. I'm not going to take it until it's undeniably obvious. So I'm waiting for us. I think this will be manipulation here. I think this is going to be a soup. We have SMTs. So this should be second stage distribution. You're in shorts. I'm looking for second stage distribution up here. Higher time frame, I think, is going to expand us higher. So Now we've souped true session open. We really did not use that first center for value gap. I'm still expecting longs. This, if anything, this is actually, more into a discount. So we have the data high above. The data high will be the simplest take profit. And yeah, I'm still looking for longs here. So now I guess next thing we could look at is what gap do we have around here? We have a 1 minute BPR. The most inefficient section of price. It did get inverse to the downside. I'm still looking for longs, really. I don't know. I'm still looking for longs. Maybe we reuse the 2022 model. We're back to 922.30. So when we come back down here, now all the true opens will be taken back to the downside. So we might reuse this. I want to see internal liquidity get swept, really. That's the thing. Not feeling like that's happened. And that's the thing is, like, remember the trade I took the other day where we had an outside bar, but it was too early? That's the same vibes I'm getting here. Like, this is going to be the low. Like, if you don't go break even on this outside bar, you'll probably be fine. But actually, I'll just go on this inversion. And, well, so you could go on this inversion, but just you would have to not go break even at all. I don't feel that confident in it, so I'm not going to do that. We might be looking at a 2022 model right here now. Oh, you can't see my screen. 2022 model right here now, possibly. Once again, we just came back to discount. I still want these equal. You want daily swing low? I want these relatively equal daily highs. Yeah, I'm about to get in longs here. I'm agreeing with FA. I think this is a 2022 model. This is a very aggressive trade. I think this might play out. This is a tape read. I really need to see something more obvious. I'm bad at 2022 models, so. I mean, you could go off a change in state off of this, right? But I'm not that good yet. So, okay, right? I'm still expecting longs. We've taken every true open. We're reusing this 15-minute gap. Like, what key level do we have here to go off of longs? We honestly don't have a ton. You got a 1 minute change in state here. We tapped we IOFED'd the 15-minute gap. I don't know, guys. I'm not seeing the entry. Like I said, you could have taken that inversion, just no break even. It's just kind of risky. Kind of want to see internal. Okay, sounds good, random guy. Market looks bad. I think it looks really good. I'm still waiting. I think we got a lot of potential here for longs. There's been no internal liquidity sweep though. It's the issue. Maybe upon an inversion of this gap, but once again, there's external gaps above. It's like, oh my gosh, why is this gotta be so hard? 1 minute change state there. I was right about the 2022 model. You know what? I would say we could go ahead and look for first strike on the right hand side of the curve back up here. So for instance, like, let's say we come up, revisit the gap, and then get change in state up here. That would be a good trade, honestly. We're revisiting the 2022 model. This might be inducement right here. So soup. I think this will be a soup. So now we've had external liquidity, well, this low here gets swept. Internal liquidity is now essentially swept. We're getting 5-second change in state. So this is a 2022 plus entry right here. Thanks, random guy, I appreciate it. We got 20 market con whale that sold. Once again, I'm really looking for a back test and change in state off of this first in for value gap. Even if there's no internal sweep on this first in for value gap change in state, I will still take it because when I'm back testing there, well, once again, we've had internal swept, we've had external swept, so now I'm really just looking for us to come back test this and change state higher. So it's gonna probably happen on the 5 seconds. So we're gonna really look at the 5 second here. So in case I take a trade here. Like this right here might be all it takes. And then we'll go higher off of this. Let's see if we revisit the Reaper gap. I don't want to enter too early. This might be all it takes. That change in state right there. That might be what delivers us up. But if we got an internal sweep, I would know for sure. I'm preparing to see us get this. Kind of want to see us fill this Reaper gap. Okay. Alright, Reaper gap has been filled. Might wait for this change in state because it'd be more undeniable. Actually, this one might be fine. Okay, we just got it.
Order filled.
This should be a really nice trade. I'm not going to go break even yet because of conviction. Make sure stop is at the low. Still not gonna go break even yet. Like, not until at least probably 2 projections. So we got the data high. I'll start trailing for projections. Okay, if we retake this high, we could go break even. I don't really want to because I have conviction, but I could take one off here. I could also just take profit here, but okay, I'll go break even. I'll trail one. Just because I know that we just got to preserve profit. Actually, no, that's not really right. That's not really right to do. We'll take one off at 4. Actually, we'll take one off at this internal high prior to the external gap. I'll take profit with stop loss though. Projections might actually need to go like this. So the fourth projection really does actually line up really nicely with that. I think it'd be stupid not to take one off there. So I think that just, as much as I want to see us continue, I need to take profit there at 4 projections. Because that is such an obvious target. So I will take profit there. At least one on one con. If I hit break even, I think I'll just be done on my real account for today. And once we hit 4 projections, I have one for the take profiting at the external gap, and then I'm going to trail the other one. If we hit this high, I could trail. Okay, if we hit that high, I'll trail. Well, let's just take it up to 4 projections. we might need to measure it out like this real quickly. And you can see that was 4 projections right there of that. So you kind of have to be careful because that was 4 projections right there. Of this. Oh yeah, I should be checking SP Pro. So you do have to be careful because 4 projections measured from bodies we did just hit. But still, there's no external gap until here really on the higher time frame. I'm trying to just make sure I take this correctly. Let's trail one. Let's trail one. I put one trail in, so just cause, you know. Maybe I shouldn't trail. I don't know. Not super sure whether I should be trailing here. Actually, yes. Yeah, let's definitely trail.
Stop field.
Okay, I got trailed out on one. I think the other one I'll just hold for conviction. You just have to understand, like, I'm up this much on a trade, I gotta make sure I take profit. So you can replace TP with trailing stop, but honestly, I don't know. There's an external gap between us and the data high, so it may just not be that explosive past 4 projections. So I think I'll just take profit at 4 projections. Yeah, we'll just take profit at 4 projections if we can hit it, and then that'll be calling it a day if it hits 4 projections. So I mean, if there's really nice displacement, I'll consider taking profit with stop loss. But otherwise, I'm probably just not gonna do that. If I take profit with stop loss, though, I'm holding for the equal previous day highs. It's probably worth it, honestly. It's probably worth it to do. Just in case, because it's a higher time frame buy model. But sometimes you also can't be greedy. gosh. Hmm. That was right to trail at that exact point. That was the correct thought. And I think it's also right to hold the other one. Okay, these somewhat low resistance. Hopefully we can be on the other side of the curve of this micro model and then use these to get up to this external high. If we get good displacement, take profit with stop loss. I honestly don't think we're gonna get through this right on that first go, which means I'm gonna most likely gonna get stopped at stopped. My I'm gonna get take profit with stop lossed out, but it's whatever. I'm just saying, most likely this is gonna the take profit with stop loss is gonna fail, but on the off chance it doesn't fail, then yeah. So I'm gonna remove the limit sell, and then be prepared to take profit with stop loss once we hit that high. So I'm watching that high very closely. Honestly, I don't think taking profit with stop loss is gonna work here. Whatever though, it's still worth it because if there's an off chance that it just does continue to prove stay high, and if so, just no point in not taking profit with stop loss, you know. So we'll just go ahead and try it if it plays out. Because you on like after like last week, like just being able to have a big winning day does help a lot. Very very choppy here, but underlying bullishness, I would say. Now we might come back and use this for center for value gap. Obviously, I'm hoping that we don't because that would break even me. I'm hoping these lows are just higher lows on the way to data high. Now even more generated liquidity here. Hopefully that can push us up to this spot that we want, but we'll see. Hopefully this is the push that gets us up to it, but we'll see. Okay, prepare to take profit. I'm preparing to take profit with stop loss if we can just get up there, dude. We really did just wick above those LRLR highs. Come on, it should be getting us up to this high at least. We're not getting good displacement. I might just take profit at that high. Okay, as of right now, I'm putting the sell limit back in because we're not getting good displacement. This is very weak, so I'm just going to be selling at that high if we get it. We also might not get that high. Very weak, guys. This is not really that great. Okay, but if there is good displacement, then I will remove it and then take profit with stop loss. There might be. As of right now, there's not. You know what? Let's just see. Can't decide. Oh my gosh. Serious? You serious right now? Yeah, a lot of people getting liquidated. Okay, so if this, at this point, with this violent move lower, if we do come up, I know we're going to get a lot of displacement, so I will take profit with stop loss. If the market does, you know, break up, continue and break this high. What a weird little move. Such a weird movement by the market right now. So possibly about to inverse this gap. Well, we'll see. We'll see. This is a very long trade. 935 longs. Yeah, there was a 2022 model there. Hoping this is a Phoenix model here. You think it's gonna be? You think this is gonna be Phoenix model? Yeah, we might get a Phoenix model and then inverse this gap. Once again, if we can get to this high, then I would love to just take profit with stop loss at this point. Like once again, if it is bullish, I don't know, we'll see. But it'd be cool if we came to the data high and then even higher. So. Really actually just a lot of watching. Well, we'll see. We keep making higher lows. So this will be low resistance liquidity eventually to the downside. Right now I'm hoping it's high resistant to the upside. Alright, there's an outside bar. definitely an accumulation. That is for sure. I was right to take profit, trail it out when we hit that spot. So we're getting closer to the break-even spot. I hope it's AMD to the upside right now. I'm going to put that limit order back in, bro. I don't need to hold past that. Okay, come on. Let's see. It might be wanting to revisit the first center for value gap. If so, then I'm cooked. It's okay, whatever the case, honestly.
Stop filled.
Oh, no shot. Okay. Alright. Break even on the other half. Alright, I'm done for the day. Alright. I'm going to switch to paper trading. What a crazy spike, dude.